Hi all, welcome to our February Bundesliga Player of the Month SBC guide and predictions video. Plenty to cover as always for these videos, so if you could smash the likes would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at @GIsALegend. All links are down below for playlists to the channel and social media links as always. And remember to hit that notification bell so you know when uploads are up on the channel. Would be massively appreciated. And anyone that tunes in, massive thanks for that as well. Because I know uploads do struggle, especially at this point of FIFA. So at the moment, I'm roughly predicting about 7 cards that could get potential for Player of the Month for the Bundesliga. Bayern and Dortmund, I'd really like Gotze is in solely because there's not really much else standing out from Bayern or Dortmund. Like, I've went through all the stats for the month, and looking at it, Leverkusen for me have the strongest shout, followed by Leipzig. Basically, potential routes and cost, my assumption would be 100k at the lowest. This would probably be for your players like Weghorst, Griffo, Orban, maybe even Peterson to a slight extent as well. Your high end 300k of maybe say Brandt and Bellarabi, with maybe at the most 150, 200 for Gotze. Now, if Gotze was to suddenly win Player of the Month, what you've got to remember is he has a flashback SBC that's 87 rated. The Player of the Month card would be 87 rated as well. So you'd practically be doing an SBC of the same card. The interesting thing then would be what would the requirements, like what they would set the requirements probably to Dortmund, like a Player of the Month squad, teams that we played against, but they can't make it expensive. They know they can't, because they would say, well, people that did the flashback SBC, it cost 150k or 120k to do. Theoretically it's the same card, so it shouldn't be more than that card. That should be almost like your benchmark at 150k. With Orban, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't really want a defender, it's going to be very slow, it's not really attractive, but that's the potential. Like Orban's had a very good month for Leipzig, but with Leipzig you'd obviously want to factor in like Hungary, you'd want to factor in obviously a Player of the Month for each squad between 83 and 86. Your Bundesliga squad, like I always say, 5 minimum players from the Bundesliga, at least 84 rated. Even if you wanted to be a bit more sure of yourself, you can go 85 and 86, maybe for the sake of Brandt and Bellarabi respectively. But I would say as long as you've prepared the teams in the Bundesliga usually that's got not just the best rated players within those teams, so like Dortmund you'd maybe focus on Toprak, Burki, Kagawa, obviously if you were to snipe him, but obviously he doesn't play for Dortmund anymore. Bremen you'd look at like Kruse, Leipzig you'd look at Campbell, Forsberg, Werner. Hoffenheim you'd look at Kramaric, you'd look at Baumann, you'd look at the regulars. Leverkusen's like Taha. Then obviously you'd maybe still look at Brandt, Bailey, Bellarabi, Heidrecke. Augsburg you'd kind of look at Finn Bogason. This is when you'd maybe look at his second inform, for example. Mönchengladbach is Thorgan Hazard's right wing version, not his left mid. Then you'd maybe look at Raphael, Sommer's probably another good one in all honesty. Bayern you'd look at Schüller, Javi Martinez. Then with Stuttgart you'd look at Mario Gomez. That's pretty much the kind of main card you'd look at. Dusseldorf less so. Obviously you'd maybe look at is it Lucabio, how you pronounce his name, the striker that did very well. Mainz you'd kind of look at Trapp, but you're kind of struggling a little bit there. Schalke, obviously Naldo kind of helped the high rated aspect, and saying that, he's actually been dropping in price. The last I've seen him was like 22 to 24k, and 86 wise it's starting to depreciate quite interestingly. But even then with Schalke you would look at Farman, he's kind of like your main paramount card. Frankfurt you would obviously look at maybe like Inform Rebic, who's been pretty much cheap throughout, which is kind of crazy and definitely one to keep an eye on. Wolfsburg, a lot of people will look at like Inform Roussillon as one option, or just the base card. Jules Vogue, those type of players. Hanover, it's mainly Füllkrug, but you're kind of half hoping that Inform Muller happened a few weeks ago to help a little bit. Hertha Berlin, you'd look at like Inform Ibisevic if you can nab him cheap, which is kind of harder said than done. But realistically, as long as you've got an 84 rated squad, I would always say is a minimum for Bundesliga. And saying that, it is fairly straightforward to actually do, like, put that together. With like Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Hungary. Like Germany, you would still just kind of look at your Farmans, you'd look at Gundogan, you'd look at Khedira. Italy, you would look at Belotti, Zaza, De Rossi, Bonaventura, Perrin. Netherlands, you'd look at Gino Wijnaldum. Robin would be a good shout, in all honesty. Hungary, you'd kind of be then looking at Orban, his second in form in particular. So, if saying that, with Leipzig, if obviously Orban was to suddenly win, Hungary players could suddenly go at a premium, so be wary of that. And that's maybe when Orban, you'd have to look at the goals ideally within Hungary to kind of cover that aspect. But hopefully they don't ask you for too many Hungary players to kind of build. But I would say personally, Brandt, Bellarabi and Orban are your main three to focus on. The fans themselves may vote for Gotze, but with Brandt, he will be a centre mid. He would be a centre mid card if he wins. If they were to suddenly release it and it's a left mid version of Brandt, don't do it, because practically there's so many left mids anyway within the Bundesliga. But also the card would be wrong. It's, if you look at the team sheets for Leverkusen for the month of February, and even in general, Brandt has been playing centre mid. He generally plays like left centre mid or right centre mid, and that's practically where he's playing just now. And it's what you've got to keep in mind. Like, we don't want a Sancho gate again where, oh, it was a left mid version and then we got the right mid version. It kind of gets a bit annoying that you kind of release a card that was correct, that should be correct the first time, it shouldn't be done the second time, and you don't want to suddenly end up with three versions of Brandt. I'll be honest, a centre mid version of Brandt becomes quite appealing on the basis of, for me, it would remove Nakata's prime version. The only problem is, I'm sure it hampers Silva's game, so I'd have to think about it. Like, I know I could put Goretzka where Nakata is, it links up for Davis. Brandt would go right centre mid, and then obviously Roy staying at striker, and I could readjust the position changes accordingly. But I would say, as long as you're prepared, as always with your Bayern, Bayern is an extent with Schula and Javi Martinez, even Kimmich to a slight extent as well, because he's not too bad for an 86. I've seen a few go at like 18 to 20k, but I would have hoped that if Brandt and Bellarabi will be most expensive, that's what I would realistically expect. But even then, even though I'm saying 300k, the actual demand to do the SBC might put it a little bit cheaper, and also depends what is out between now and then as well, because you've got 2 weeks time for it. The 15th of March is what I have penciled in for the Player of the Month guide. That's because obviously it's usually the 8th for the EPL, 15th for, well, it's usually the third Friday in the month for the Bundesliga. But I'm hoping, and I mean it hopefully, that like the experts will, as I said, will go either Orban, Brandt or Bellarabi. The fans might vote for Gotze, so be prepared for that. But because I would imagine when they release the vote, they might put Brandt as a left mid, but not telling people, oh, by the way, he played centre mid. So the only folk that may truly know, oh, he did play centre mid, is those that look into these type of things. So, and I will tweet out as well when I release the video that I will show that Brandt is an 87 centre mid, and Bellarabi is obviously a right winger, and Orban, etc. But I think this Play of the Month will feel hopefully a little bit more worthwhile for us to do. It's like, they'll do 4 routes, they'll probably give us like about 125, 150k worth of packs. So all in all, I hope this is one that for a lot of people that have Bundesliga squads, it's worthwhile for them. But let me know in the comments down below, folks, does the Bundesliga Play of the Month for February appeal to you at all? And if so, who would you really like? Do you want Brandt, do you want Griffo, Orban, Veghorst, Gotze, Bellarabi or Peterson? And as always folks, let me know in the comments down below as well. Would you do it if whoever wins the player of the month? So smash like as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. Take it easy all, thanks for watching and I will catch you all later.